Good morning, guys. We're going to go over 3 topics. It's going to take us about 45 minutes like we typically do, and then we'll play afterwards. Today's clinic is sponsored by Gamma. They're one of the sponsors of our memorial tournament. They have our new set of paddles out. I'm going to hit one today for the very first time. So you guys are welcome to demo this along the way. It's kind of in the realm of a paddle that Jan would use, a stretch paddle. We'll have other Gamma products, yes, Yoli as well. Other Gamma products around there. They're going to give everybody a new grip at the tournament. If you sign up, you get a grip cover as part of what you're getting, along with a sweatshirt that we'll have hopefully in the next 2 weeks that you can see. Today's 3 topics we're going to go over. We want to work on how you can improve your game. There's 3 ways you can do it. By playing regularly. Obviously, you learn what works and what doesn't work. You can get new ideas by watching others, taking lessons, looking at videos, or figure out what's done to you that works well, that makes you hit bad shots. So we're going to go over those things that you can make other people hit bad shots so that you can win. And then the final way is by drilling. Some people don't like to drill. Some people love to drill. There's lots of benefits with drilling. So what I'm saying is figure out what you're good at. If you have a great forehand, figure out ways that you're going to hit your forehand. If you can dink better than somebody else, figure out ways to make it so they're not smashing the ball at you. Figure out where your common mistakes are, and that's an area you should drill. Figure your footwork or whatever it is. Ask somebody, say, hey, how come you see me always making that same mistake? People can give you good suggestions, good advice. We're going to go over the 3 topics today are a service return, how to handle power shots, and backhand overheads. So let's start with service returns. When you want a service return, the very, very, very worst thing you can do is put the ball in the net or shank it out wide. So consistency, and with that consistency, the main thing you want to do, where's the most consistent place on the court? The middle of the court, because you can hit a shank shot and it can still go in. Middle and deep. If you hit a ball short, all of a sudden you went from being on the advantage. People returning should be the team that's on the offense to where you're on the defense. So depth and middle is a great place, especially if let's say you're in a tournament, you're playing a match, the first 5 returns, every one of those should be to the middle. You might figure some things out along the way, you might say some things to your partner, for example, you watch where the server's setting up. So if Trudy's setting up on a serve, and she sets up, go ahead and set up somewhere, make it an extreme. You're serving.
I'm serving. I thought I was receiving.
So if she's serving from there, it's very hard for her to hit a wide angle out here. I don't need to say, go to this other side where people protect their backhand. So stay close. So I don't want to say, oh, well, I don't want to make sure she hits it to my backhand, so I'm going to be right here because I only want a forehand. She could easily serve that down the middle. Now, if she goes out wide, it's almost impossible for her to hit a ball here. So I can start a step further out. You should mirror where that server is. Come into the middle. So if she's from there, I'm going to be about right here. As that server sets up, me as a returner, I'm watching where she goes. Go ahead and serve one. So then I'm in that spot because she did come out wide. If I had stayed in the middle, I would have been diving for that ball. Do one more. Opposite. So I'm able to come and fall. So you don't want to just set up in the same place every time, because the server, if they're watching you at all, they're going to learn where they can pick on you. So be a mirror image of where that person is serving. That will save you a lot of diving or reaching for balls. Adjust for the wind. Yesterday was a good example. This whole spring will be a good example. If that server has I was hoping there was going to be some wind this morning, but I'm also hoping not, so this is great. If that server has wind in her face, that ball is not going to penetrate deep. I don't need to start my return back here. Often that ball is going to bounce right up in here. So I might, if the wind is heavy in her face, I'm going to start close to this line. I don't want to start on it, but here, so I can step into that court easier.
Short one?
Yeah. So I can step up into it, and I'm already up at the net. But if she has a ton of wind at her back, if I'm starting here, that ball bounces anywhere through here, it's going to explode, and I'm going to shank that. So often when there's wind, I'm going to start this far back because it's almost impossible for them to hit a short serve, hit one real deep. So I'm starting this far back. I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to loft it up like that because I've started so far back. I need more time to get in. So pay attention. Don't get caught off guard with what's going on with the elements. If there's a crosswind, obviously the ball's going to push that way. You don't have to guard that middle line. Be aware of what's going on around you with that. So the main thing that we're trying to do on a return of serve is get to the line before the other team does. So lots of people will hit their return, give me a ball, hit their return, and as they hit this, they walk in like this. By the time that ball's drill it and come back in. By the time that ball has come back for the next shot, because I'm not going in with any kind of intention or pace, I'm catching a ball down here and I'm going to miss it. You want to have it look like this. Try to get this past me. I'm already set. You take 3. You don't run. Now, the other thing you don't want to do is run through your return. This is where a lot of the errors come from. I see people say, "Oh, I got to get up there." So, they're running as they hit it. Don't run through your turn. You want your feet set, leaning into the court, and then you take 4 quick steps to get up there. And we all have different speeds. I realize that, but do your very best to get up there. So as I return this, I'm there, and I'm set. Obviously, my partner would cover that line with that. So that's the next thing I want to talk about. Let's have Larry come out here and Kale come out here. If Trudy's serving me the ball, this is the strategy part that a lot of people don't get, and you see missed balls over and over and over. If Trudy serves me the ball, and I return it to Larry down this line, let's try that. Kale, do what you're supposed to do. Oh, hang on. Do it one more time, Trudy. So what we're doing here, see where Kale went with that, go and stop. As soon as he sees the ball that's on this half of the court, that person should be covering the middle, even foot slightly over. I didn't hit that ball quite to the line. If I would have hit that ball to the line, I'm here and he's there. We make Larry hit the very hardest shot possible. Now at this time, if I hit the ball to Trudy, this puts the most pressure on me, because right there I only had about 8 feet of the court. If I return to Larry, I only have this part on the third shot. Kale has the rest. If I return this to Trudy, he has 8 feet and I need to be over, so I have 12 feet of the court, because it's very hard for her to hit this shot right here, the place we're giving up. She's going to make 1 out of 10 of those. So if you've hit a return cross court, you really have a lot of responsibility. You have to get up there fast and be ready to cover the middle. If you hit a return down the line, your partner has the middle. You guys should work in unison back and forth. And then once you're both set and the ball's wherever it is, again, as we talked about in other clinics, you're moving back and forth with it. So on the return serve, we're going to drill these here in just a second. What I want to see is depth. That's not depth. And then I want that partner to practice coming over or you coming up. That was perfect, Kale. Now you take one, Kale. Depth, consistency, and getting yourself up to the net. So he had that, that's a perfect example. Because he hit that in the line, he had the responsibility of that middle ball. He didn't quite get there in time, so then he shanked the ball because his feet weren't set yet as he had hit that. My personal opinion is, again, keep the ball in the middle, not going to a line, and I would keep it in front of me in this general 8-foot section, because that makes me have much less responsibility as I'm coming up, and my partner whose feet are already set, it's much easier for them to control a ball than me that's running up. So if I hit a cross-court return, I have to really in my head say, I have got to get that line, I've got to get there fast, I've got to get my feet set, I've got to have my paddle up. It's a lot more work if you're hitting a cross-court return. One more. you. So we're going to do 2 drills here. We're going to come around the courts, and we'll look at everybody's shots, and we'll talk about it. First one, we're going to have a person serve to the same court, and they're going to hit the returner is going to hit it back into the same court, working on getting up fast enough. This person's going to try to drill it past them as fast as they can to see if they can get up or not. The second one, after we're done, after we've everybody served a few and returned a few.
You mean serve the same court, the distance?
Yes, we're going to stay on we're going to have 4 people each serving to half court. The second one, we're going to have a server. All 4 of you are going to play a point, serve it back, serve it forth, and we're going to work on that movement side to side and returns deep and returns. So again, focus on a deep return that helps you get up, that's not off to a line that you're shanking. All right, so everybody, we have balls. Let's grab these 7 courts that are available. We'll come around. 4 people per court.